Shalom. Shalom and welcome. Welcome to Endtime Reflections. My name is Symmanayah if you're tuning in for the first time. And these are the words I am compelled to present before an awakening set-apart nation. This is the 78th installment of Endtime Reflections, and I want to bring your attention to the words rising presentations. Rising presentations. But before I get into this, I want you to know that the views expressed in these podcasts do not necessarily reflect the views of the owners, managers, or shareholders or sponsors of this media platform. With that said, let's get started. Yashar'al, the propaganda machine is widening and broad. Uncertainty is larger than it has ever been in life. For one, the population has never been as it is. Yashar'al, I mentioned recently that I will soon release a series of messages entitled The Final Exodus, Countdown 2023. I will present the case of why I believe the 8th month of our calendar, commonly known as the month of December, 2023 will mark a time when our final exodus would be very obvious and would have occurred. Sure, there will be some stragglers, but for the most part, I believe this prophecy will be fulfilled. Yashar'al, my brothers and sisters, there is so much poured into me that I believe the Almighty Father has revealed. In the name of Yahusha, my spirit is stirred, my mind is overwhelmed, my spirit rejoices, at the same time I grieve. At the same time I pray to be cautious, that I do not allow my emotions to overtake me. In the name of Yahusha, my brothers and sisters, I come to you letting you know that soon and very soon, the realities of what it takes to fulfill what is written regarding the final exodus, regarding having the strength to endure to the end, regarding having the strength to be a martyr for Yahusha's name. We are about to witness all that is required of us, O set-apart family, to fulfill what has been promised by the Almighty Father. On that note, O Yashar'al, I want to say that normally I don't mention dates, but this date is seared in my mind, and I believe what's to come to fulfill that final exodus will ramp up. With that said, my brothers and sisters, there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of people trying to be ahead of prophecy. There's a lot of people talking about the Almighty Father showed and revealed things to me. Some are lying. And you might say, well, you're in that same rank, Symmanayah. Well, I say this to you, O Yashar'al. Out of all the noise, soon and very soon, the power of the Almighty Father will be reflected and passed through the chosen ones who are designated to lead the children of Yashar'al to the promised land. To lead the children of Yashar'al to designations that they will be in these final days. And that power will bring the power to remove obstacles. It will bring a power that shuts people down. It will bring the power that causes one to yield and listen. Watch the hand of the Almighty Father come and grow and be magnified before us in the name of Yahusha. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al. I present why it's important to know how to discern who is really hearing from Abba Yahuwah's Spirit sent in Yahusha's name. I say often that we must vet, we must examine, we must know how to determine whether it is indeed the Almighty Father using an individual or individuals. I'm compelled to believe that many of my messages can be connected, at the very least, to one of the purposes in the 7 feast times. In this message, I want to direct your attention to the connection of the Feast of Tabernacles, or as some may know it, the Feast of Booth. You see, my brothers and sisters, a booth, a tabernacle, a shelter. I submit to you that our bodies are a shelter of our spirit while we are physically alive. And the time will come when these earthen vessels will return back to the dirt, as mentioned in the scriptures. With that said, come listen to the words presented regarding the Feast of Booth, or Tabernacle. Leviticus 23, verse 39 through 43. Leviticus 23, verse 39 through 43. On the 15th day of the 7th new moon, when you gather in the fruit of the land, celebrate the festival of Yahuah for 7 days. On the first day is a rest, and on the 8th day a rest. And you shall take for yourselves on the first day the fruit of the good trees, branches and palm trees, twigs of leafy trees, and willows of the stream, and shall rejoice before Yahuah your Almighty One for 7 days. And you shall celebrate it as a festival to Yahuah for 7 days in the year, a law forever in your generation. Celebrate it in the 7th new moon. Dwell in booths for 7 days. All who are native born in Yashar'al dwell in booths, so that your generations know that I made the children of Yashar'al dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Mitzrayim. There's a remembrance to dwell in booths when he brought us. There's a literal remembrance of what actually happened. But do not think that the festival is just to get in the booth, just to come together, and just to pay attention to just the literal. I submit to you, my brothers and sisters, this is a time of recognizing that there is refuge in the bosom of the Almighty Father, who is aware that through strong trust we find refuge in Him. And we will find that as things ramp up, as uncertainty ramp up, we will discover the need, my brothers and sisters, to listen to those who point us in a direction of refuge and shelter, to listen to those who are directed by the Spirit of Yahuah, sent in Yahusha's name. Rising presentations, my brothers and sisters. Do you not know that every time we encounter someone, we are presenting ourselves? But before I explain that, let me read Proverbs 14:26 for the scriptural hungry. In the fear of Yahuah is strong trust, and his children have a place of refuge. The tabernacle of Yahuah is our bodies, and our spirit is given the strength and power to manage them accordingly. My brothers and sisters, are we not aware that when it states judgment begin at the house of Yahuah, it could say at the tabernacle of Yahuah? Are we not aware that it's referring to us? Believe it or not, every time we step beyond standing alone and move into the company, the presence of another, two or more, we present our bodies before those who see us. This is a presentation. And if we are presenting things that we believe that elevates one, it is a rising presentation. Yes, just to rise up and be physically alive, we present ourselves before one another in more ways than we can imagine. People are watching. People are listening. Some are learning. Some are rejecting actions and instructions from the obedient of Yahuah. Rising presentations, my brothers and sisters. Everyone that rises up with a word is not necessarily led by the Almighty Father. Who is able to identify the life in the following passage? 1 Peter 4:17 through 19 say, because it is time for judgment to begin from the house of Yahuah. It is firstly from us. What is the end of those who do not obey the good news of the Almighty One? And if the righteous one is scarcely saved, where shall the wicked and the sinner appear? So then, those who suffer according to the desire of the Almighty One should commit their lives to a trustworthy Creator in doing good. Believe it or not, my brothers and sisters, as end times ramp up, we are witnessing many individuals showing us things or telling us things that present an image of a rising presentation Yes, whatever they're sharing, whatever they're putting up. These are rising presentations to influence us to go here, to go there, to go left, to go right, to go backwards or forwards, to sit still. But now is the time to ask yourself, are you satisfied with your pastor, your community head, your deacon, your bishop, your moray? Are they equipping you with what's necessary for you to rise up and present yourself as a living sacrifice, walking in obedience to the Almighty Father's Spirit as He lead and guide you? If not, pray and watch. A change is coming. We must and we will learn how to fully examine, how to vet all rising presentations to see if they are indeed from the Almighty Father Yahuah. Consider the following, my brothers and sisters. Matthew 23, verse 25 through 28. Come with me to Matthew 23, 25 through 28. He said, woe to you scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you clean the outside of the cup and dish, but inside they are filled with plunder and unrighteousness. Blind Pharisee, first clean the inside of the cup and dish, so that the outside of them becomes clean too. Woe to you scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you are like whitewashed tombs, which outwardly indeed look well, but inside are filled with dead men's bones and uncleanness. So you too outwardly indeed appear righteous to men, but inside you are filled with hypocrisy and lawlessness. Believe it or not, my brothers and sisters, as many are awakened, as many as are coming into the truth, there are many who desire what's quote-unquote called Hebrew garbs to return to our culture. Many miss the mark. They wear zits or fringes, not realizing that the scripture is basically saying hem our garments neatly with a purple cord, not with zits and fringes, not with phylacteries dangling from our garments. My brothers and sisters, we were an agricultural community and people. The Almighty Father would not put us in a situation where we're wearing things that can entangle us and be obstructive, and us being productive in working the fields and tending to our livestock. Phylacteries, zits, and fringes was something where man exaggerated and went beyond just a simple, neat hem with a purple cord, a cord of purple. You see, blood is red or scarlet, and the waters are perceived to be blue. Blue and red makes purple, my brothers and sisters. You take the word of Yahuah, which is symbolic of the waters, and you look at the blood of the Lamb, and together you have something that reminds you of what the Almighty Father is telling you to do. My brothers and sisters, presentations, there's those who walk around and they dress, and they want you to think that they are more in tune with the Hebrew culture. We are to dress modest, and we are to wear garments that are for men below the crouch. As with women, modestly dressed, my brothers and sisters. And there are those who are trying to mimic the dress that is described regarding the priests. Presentations, my brothers and sisters, rising presentations that are wicked are before us. There are many who believe they are dressing like a Hebrew. They have been seduced by non-discerning mores and teachers and others. They have chosen to yield to the text versus discovering the life in the scriptures. We agree that man tampered with the scriptures. When we see the words that are labels reflective of paganism used to substitute the true name of the Almighty Father, the true name of His Word manifested in the flesh before us, the true name of Yahusha. There are tamperings when it comes to the new moon. So much so, people think the new moon is a black moon, and many think the new moon is a sliver. When a newborn babe is born, do you celebrate the toe or the hand sticking out of a mother's womb? Or is when the full birth of a child, when you see the whole baby, we say we have a newborn. The new moon is the full moon, my brothers and sisters. It is designed to light up the skies and extend the dark, Provide light during the darkness. Extend daylight hours so man may be able to harvest each month. They're given extra daylight to harvest the food. Many people will argue and say, oh, he's making up his own doctrine. In the midst of all the noise, O Yashar'al, we will discover those who will fill our glass with the set-apart water of Yahuah. In the name of Yahusha, we will discover those who are truly in tune with what is true and what is real. Let me read the following, my brothers and sisters. Yahuah spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the children of Yashar'al, and you should say to them, make zitzits on the corners of their garments throughout their generations, and put a blue cord in the zitzits of the corners. My brothers and sisters, he's just talking about him, your garment, neatly. And man tampered with the scriptures and put that zit or fringes. And some don't know whether to wear fringes or zit. Some vacillate. They go back and forth. And some wear both in an effort, quote unquote, to play it safe, instead of pursuing the living voice of the Almighty Father sent in Yahusha's name to discover what is really commanded of us. And he says here, you shall, for is it, you shall see it, shall remember all the commands, Yahuah, the commands of Yahuah, and shall do them, and not search after your own heart, your own eyes after which you went whoring, that you remember and shall do all my commands, and be set apart unto your Almighty One. I am Yahuah, your Almighty One, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim to be your Almighty One. I am Yahuah, your Almighty One. And when he's saying here, searching after your own heart, your own eyes, you see, we think we dress nice. We want our zitzits to be longer than somebody else's zitzits. We want our fringes to be more neater than someone else's. When all he's saying was hem the garments with a neat cord of purple. And every time you look at the hem of your garment, you see this tucking your shirts in to reveal your crouch. It's something of another culture, not of ours. My brothers and sisters, we will soon learn, as discipline comes, how the Almighty Father will make things right. You see, it starts with the word of the Almighty Father Yahuah. Notice how it states, and Yahuah spoke to Moshe. Here instructions were given. Many of us know by now that the texts have been tampered with. I can't stress that enough. And I've even seen Moray say it's not tampered with. But yet they ain't running around saying JC and the other pagan terms that have been infused in it. There are Morays that'll sit there and say, show you a book and say, this is the word of Yahuah. It's a textbook that man have used. The original words were put in a manuscript form, but what we see now is not the original text, and it has been tampered with. But man cannot tamper with the almighty power of the Almighty Father Yahuah. He who is the beginning and the ends. My brothers and sisters, like many things, man wanted to exaggerate the instructions beyond what the Almighty Father was telling us to do. Even to this day, there are pastors, mores, teachers, leaders, and others imitating a lie and going beyond the true instructions, wearing garments with phylacteries of fringes. In man's pursuit of vanity, they have exaggerated and inflated the instructions from the Almighty Father. But discipline will come, as end time proved to present true set-apart pastors, mores, teachers, and other obedient spiritual leaders. Corrections will come, and we will shed the things that are wicked, the things that are not true. Our behaviors will be made straight. Our practices, our teachings will be made straight. The promised discipline from the Almighty Father Yahuah will make things straight. There will be those who will hold on to what they believe is correct. There will be those who will yield to what is true, and there will be those who think they can be right in the middle and do a little bit of both and everything. They will take compromising positions thinking that they will be safe. There are some who will interchangeably move from one practice to another, like a feather in the wind, tossed to and fro. It's time, O Yashar'al. Rising presentations. Let us examine the things that are rising that appear to be set apart and choose and discern and choose wisely what is indeed true. My brothers and sisters, with each passing day, we present ourselves before one another. We are as rising presentations, whether you realize it or not. Who is aware of the life that is spoken of and written of and mentioned of in Romans 12:1 and 2? It says, I call upon you, therefore, brothers, through the compassion of the Almighty One, to present your bodies a living offering. Present your bodies. Presentation, my brothers and sisters. Set apart, well-pleasing to the Almighty One, your reasonable worship. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you prove what is good and well-pleasing and perfect desire of the Almighty One. Now, I strongly recommend, O Yashar'al, that we begin to realize every action we take each day, someone is watching us. Someone is judging us. Someone is influenced by us. Someone is using us to set an example. Believe it or not, our actions often influence others without us knowing. It would be wise to begin walking in wisdom and carefully choosing each step we make. End time has and will continue to bring widespread uncertainty. But remember, the hand of Yahuah will make straight his children. The hand of Yahuah will cause us to walk in obedience, to improve and worship in obedience to him. In the name of Yahusha, we will discover things we didn't know we were capable of doing or saying. Rising presentations. What say you, or listen to these words? Will you begin to take notice to how people witness our behaviors as we step into this time of distress? Yashar'al, O Yashar'al, my brothers and sisters, the days have arrived where we must and will learn to recognize what we have taken for granted and start moving in a way that makes things straight as the Almighty Father would have it. The days are here where we will discover so much have been presented to us for growing in maturity. We will recognize the things we've taken for granted, and we will recognize that things are new. There are rising presentations coming from you. Yes, you. Me. From us. It's time to wake up and realize that people are watching. We will begin to interact in a way that we would have never imagined. The time is now to prepare to adapt, to adjust, to yield to correction, O Yashar'al, to receive the discipline of the Almighty Father. For those who will yet fight and rebel and refuse to yield to rising presentations that are set apart, a regrettable end will come for you. Some it will be a sickness unto death. Some it will be a weakness unto strength, as they are made weak. As we are made weak, we will learn what it is in our weakness. We will rise up strong in the spirit of set apartness. Those who yield, those who are trained by the living words from the Almighty Father. On that note, my brothers and sisters, I salute your pursuit of set apartness. I pray that each of us grow in discerning the voice of our Savior, Yahuah, who comes in the name of Yahusha. I invite you to tune in, for soon and very soon I will present the series, Final Exodus, Countdown 2023, with detailed instructions on what must and will come to be. I am compelled to believe during this series I will present some words that will cause things to happen in this world, as I am directed by the Almighty Father in the name of Yahusha. And when the realities of those who are used by the Almighty Father begin to happen in broad scale and in power, we will then know that there's indeed an Almighty One in our land and across the face of the world. Prepare, O Yashar'al, prepare to witness the severe hand of the Almighty Father, the gathering hand of the Almighty Father. Prepare to witness the power of what will happen across the land, from mountains moving to rivers turning to blood, from earthquakes to tsunamis. Prepare to witness at the voice of those who are charged by the Almighty Father will echo the things that will make us give notice to what the Almighty Father is saying, what He's ordering, and what must be done. The children of Yahuah will gather. The 144,000 will rise. A great multitude will emerge. And it is by the power and might of the servants, the chosen leaders, and the servants of Yahuah, that things will happen. And we will witness correction come to His children. And in some cases, that judgment that begins at the house of Yahuah will be sickness unto death. Pray, O Yashar'al. Pray that you know how to ask questions, how to discern what is expected. On that note, be encouraged. The realities of end times are before us. Stay tuned. There's much more to come. I want to say this too, my brothers and sisters. When I do the final Exodus Countdown 2023, that will be on my YouTube channel, White Rose Family. If you go to Yah's Watchman, YahsWatchman.net, www.YahWatchman.net is my website. I invite you to visit. I invite you to discover all that I've been compelled to preserve and to present before you. The day will come, O Yashar'al, when the things that I've presented will no longer be accessible. And it's not about me. So it will be for others who have been used by the Almighty Father. The day will come. For it is written, there will come a time when there will be a famine of the word of Yahuah. What's your choice? What's your decision? What questions do you have? What comments do you have? What say you, O listener, to these words? I invite your comments, your questions, your interactions. Stay tuned. As I said, there's so much more to come. Shalom.